Good morning. I'm glad to see you again. This time we see each other by the mornings. Maybe it's too hard for someone to came, but I definitely see new faces today. Let's start. This session was prepared by Dmitry, as Holger already said, and Dmitry came and asked me to talk about it. I want to say excuse me for some details, because I don't know in some places what Dmitry wanted to say, because some details knows only he. He asked every developer about his to-do list, about his plans, and of course it can't write in high details in slides what every of us wanted to do and or planned to do. So if I can't answer your question, we can ask it in the Firebird devel list or Firebird support, and we will ask in details here. Well, the first slide and the start is about development priorities, which we considering for the new Firebird version. Our primary goals is to release finally SMP and multi-core friendly engine, which will be multi-threaded, and it will have shared cache, shared page cache. Also, we updated architecture. We may call it updated, or we may call it restore the original architecture of the very first versions of Interbase engine, how it was created. Of course, it's not exactly the same as it was invented by Jim. We, of course, renew it. 20 years passed it, and it can be almost the same, exactly the same. And secondary goals, of course, is about performance, about scalability, about stability of engine. We plan to implement many security enhancement, many security options will be implemented. Of course, in every version of the engine we work on optimizer, and in this version we expect to have significant changes in optimizer. Of course, we will extend monitoring abilities. I can't say right now what it will be, but I think we will new monitoring tables, maybe some new live tables will be implemented. Can't say it right now. And of course, SQL language will be enhanced. If you was there the first day of the conference, you know some details. If not, you can read our presentation, which could be available online, of course, and you can ask us. And of course, we have what's new for every major features, and you can just open your browser and open our SVN source code repository and read all you can read. More detailed about these features. The must-have thing and main goal of this release is the shared page cache. And this is already implemented in Super Server, starting with Interbase 6. But as you all know, Super Server is not scalable on the multi-core or multi-CPU systems. It have effectively run just one thread that could work with the engine internals, and we want to break this limitation and introduce really shared page cache with as this right by Dmitry scalable synchronization. It was firstly introduced in Vulkan. Many of us know about Vulkan, but Vulkan never was out of the door. SAS used it, but it, as I know, don't use it shared page cache because it have some issues. We want, of course, to implement it without the bugs. It expected to work well. This shared page cache will be available not only for the what was previous named super server, it also will be available in every kind of engine. I will talk about engine architecture in a few minutes later, and you will see what I mean. So we also will support internal and external locking. So many processes could have its own instance of shared page cache for their threads or many connections, and it will be synchronized inter-process using log manager as always. What is nice to have? We can't right now expect what will be implemented more than shared page cache. It will depend on how work on the other primary goals will be advanced. So we have two plans. Plan A is shared metadata cache. We want, of course, to implement it, but it will require another engine refactoring in many pieces. And this is plan, I said, more optimistic. I can't promise it will be implemented in version 3, maybe in version 3.1 or 3.5, I don't know. At plan B, more correct, I said, and I think this will be implemented really in the Firebird 3. It will have no shared metadata cache, but we will reduce memory usage when it will be possible and when it will be desirable. About cache architecture, this slide allow us to maybe understand more easily to what we have under internal and external synchronization. If you look at this picture and disable process 2 and process N and leave only process 1, you will see former super server architecture. This is one process with exclusive access to the database, which have many threads to handle user connections, and all the threads uses shared cache. In this new version of Firebird 3, we will allow to have many processes. Each processes could have shared access to the database, to the same database. It can, every process can handle as many connections as it needed, and every process will have shared cache for all the attachment it have inside. And inside the process, it will be synchronized by the special lightweight synchronization primitives, and between the processes we will still use a log table, log manager, and so on. Where it can be useful. For example, process 1 is the regular Firebird server, process 2 is, for example, backup process, and process N may be some embedded application with many connections, so they all will work together with the same database. About server architecture, we will unify it, but we will not lose any existing ability. In Firebird 2.5, you know, we have 4 kind of architecture. We have embedded server, we have super server, we have classic server, and we have super classic server. Too much. In Firebird 3, all these kinds will be possible, but it will be possible to use fusion configuration. So we will have no more separate binary for every kind of the server. It will be common binary, it will be set of DLLs, and it will be configured by some configuration files, and in some simple cases we want to provide ability to don't use any configuration file, and it will be some default configuration. Engine will be, it's already implemented as separate DLL. You can think about it as embedded engine, And engine library will support just one single major on disk structure. Also will be separate binary, and it will implement network access. It will be network listener or network server, and this server will load the engine library. There could be ability to load different instances of engine libraries and its so-called providers, and every different kind of engine library could support, for example, ODS 12 and ODS 11 and older ODSs. Currently we have, of course, implement only library for ODS 12, the current ODS for the Firebird 3, but we plan to maybe after release, maybe within the release time frame, to implement engine to support older ODSs to work with it. Also will be available as shared as exclusive database access. It will be configurable per database using aliases conf. Sooner of all, we still discussing how all plugins will be configured, which set of configuration file we'll use. But current plan for database settings, we will use aliases conf. And execution models, as I already said, will be available for the shared access to the database, and it will be configurable at the server level. Of course, embedded access have no difference from all the set above, and it will be configured by the same way. And you can configure your embedded application to use exclusive database access or share it as you need. And this is a picture to make more easy understanding how it could work. The central part may be main, maybe not main, but the central is dispatcher, is what was called wire valve. This is the library which load all other library, including engines, including other providers, and so on. If you add to the dispatcher remote redirector provider, which is at the right lower side of the picture, this is what you name FB client DLL. This is client library. If you combine network server with dispatcher and engine provider, this is FB server, what it was before. So currently we have binary for the server. It's called FB server. Its name is unified on POSIX and on Windows platform. No more FB server, no more FB INS server. It's called Firebird XM. I was mistaken before. We have binary for the dispatcher and remote redirector. This is FB client. And we have engine provider for the version 3. This is engine 12 DLL. Of course, we have another binaries, it's plugins for the tracing ability, for the security, and so on. But this is the main part of the architecture. All plugins, as I already said, loaded by the dispatcher, not by the engine, not by the network server, but by the dispatcher. It's important. Again, Dmitry maybe wanted to make the point on all the terms, what was before and what was now. I think I already said about it, but let's repeat. Super server has exclusive database access. It have multi-threaded mode, and it should have maximum performance. Of course, we will support this mode of work, as I already said, but the difference from the older super server will be that we will use all available CPUs or cores or another source of CPU power. Super classic, shared database access, also multi-thread mode. It allows the applications to access to the database. This mode also could be supported, again using configuration. In fact, in Firebird 3, superclassic will be almost the same as supersaver, except of shared or exclusive access to the database. It will work absolutely equally in all other means. Classic is shared database access at multi-process mode. It have maximum reliability. That means that if one process is crashed, all others stay to work as always. And this mode also could be possible and will be available using special configuration. A few words about new ODS, ODS 12. I already said yesterday something about it. I don't know if it was interesting or easy to understand. Dmitry also mentioned the changes in new ODS. We have flags to mark data pages as not having any garbage. It improves performance for the large databases. We also have flag to mark data pages as pages that have no primary record versions. It will improve performance of natural scan in some cases. We have inventory of the mapping of the page number and its system change number. It allows physical backup to skip not changed pages and make different backups faster than it was before. In plans, not in code still, but in plans we have ability to change run length encoding compression to make large empty strings, maybe not empty, large varchar strings to occupy less space in the record. Also not mentioned in this picture, but also we have in plans to at least evaluate another means of compressions of record, maybe not RLE, maybe something else. Jim also have some examples. Maybe we will look at Falcon way of compression of records and will compare it if it better than currently run length encoding. Maybe we will think about something else, but this is still not completed job. It's under an investigation currently. Also, we have in plans to look at encoding on index entries. It's also question if we have most efficient way to work with it, and we will also try different ways of encoding index keys and look on performance. And of course, in logical structure, there is a lot of changes, and it will be more changes. We already have few new system tables. We have system tables to store, for example, packages to store SQL functions. Few system relations was extended with new fields, and this is also a work in progress. And until now, ODS 12 is not stable. It could be changed. So if you evaluate current Firebird 3 version, be prepared that your databases at some day will not be read anymore. But this is okay before we have the alpha stage. At the alpha stage, ODS will be stable. And few words about optimization. Optimization is complex term. It consists from the different ways of what can we do, what should we do, and what we really do. Some improvements was implemented and planned to implement, and some algorithms used in the engine. The first and most important thing is cost-based approach whenever possible. I will say it about it later, but many of you know that so far we have a very low amount of statistics available for the optimizer, and in some cases it generates not optimal plans for the queries because it have no knowledge about data layout and tables. We want to collect much more statistics than before and make it available for the optimizer to generate better plans. Efficient joining for streams containing aggregates, unions, and procedures. This is one of the things I can't describe in more deep because it's something that Dmitry did. Maybe it's not complete, and the questions should be redirected to him. Inner join for dependent procedures now work properly. If you like procedures and you use it often, you may know that we can join tables with procedures, procedures with procedures, and so on. And sometimes we force it to use left join instead of inner join to fix order of tables and procedures. Because in some cases we have at runtime errors such as no record for fetch and so on. To be fair, this is job for the optimizer, not for the people. And this job, as we hope, is optimizer now able to do and make correct join always. And if some procedure in join have input parameter and it depends on the another table of procedure, it will be in plan put in the correct place now. Also, hash joins already implemented. I don't know numbers about performance comparisons, but it should be better than existed ways to join large result sets. For example, if we have no indices or we have very big tables, then loop join could be not efficient. And hash joins was invented specially to join large result sets. Also, we have no support for the match algorithm for the outer joins. It's now implemented, and full outer joins was also work using sort and merge, and now it's also can use indices if this is available. Cached invariant subqueries. I think Dmitry wanted to say here that if we have some subselect and it returns scalar value and it not correlated with the outer query, it will be cached now and will be not evaluated for the every record of the outer stream. I don't know details in much, but I think this is what Dmitry wanted to say here. And plan output will be much more detailed. The next slide will be with example of possible advanced plan output. You see it have really more details about as operations as parameters which these operations took. For example, you can see on what fields sorting is performed, what exactly kind of rancher scan or unique scan in indices was used by the engine, and other usable parameters. This is still not committed into the main tree, so this is example. I don't know if new advanced plan output will be look at exactly in this way. Maybe something another, maybe it will have more details, maybe different form, I don't know. But it definitely will be. Again, about optimization and as I already said about statistics. We will gather much more statistics than we currently have. Currently we have only statistics on indices. We have only selectivity. This is important, but this is not detailed number. It have about the whole index, about the whole data set, and not about some part of it. The most expected improvement is value distribution histograms. Of course, it will require some additional system tables. Maybe some system tables will be extended with these values, but we have it in our to-do and it have high priority. Also, we will have some common statistics such as page counts for index and tables, row counts, average compression ratio, and maybe something else. And of course, these statistics could be available for the end user to see, to query it. You will see these statistics. I did not say it yesterday, but Gstat already improved it in some ways. You can now see how many the swept pages table have, how many secondary pages it have, how many blobs of each level it have. So it's already enhanced, but this is not the end. These statistics could be refreshed manually, and we think about automatic refreshing of statistics to not force you to run set statistics manually. And statistics could be will be ability to refresh not the whole statistics for the table, for example, but part of it maybe for some column or some index or maybe something else. This is plans. So far, as I know, job is not started, but we have very serious intention to complete it. About SQL features, we have already implemented many of the features because its implementation starts much before the Firebird 3 was open for the production, for the development, and some features maybe looks as big features was implemented before and just was committed into the 3 when we open Firebird 3 source code for the development. So, external procedures, functions, and triggers. You maybe know it about Java procedures or external engines. It's how it was named before. We now have ability to write functions in the SQL. It could be more easy or maybe more useful than write UDFs in some cases. We have basic implementation of SQL packages, like in Oracle, but so far it's more simple. We have DDL triggers. It's triggers which is fired on some DDL statements, on some DDL events, such as create table or drop procedure or something else. We have support for the identity columns, mostly used by the people who came from the another database and want to migrate faster. We have again initial support for the window functions or analytical functions. We did not implement all kind of functions which is supported by standard, but many features is already here in code and you can try it. Also, the things about, I did not say it in the first my session, is bidirectional cursors in PSQL. Cursors was introduced in version 2.0 or maybe 2.1, I don't remember now, and it was for it works in for the fetching the next direction only. Now you can use it to fetch in the previous direction. It's bidirectional, and user-defined exceptions can now have parameters. Also, I showed it at my session before. We have some features to implementation planned. We want to support bidirectional cursors in API. I think this is about ICD SQL fetch call. It could be possible to read a previous record, not only next. We have in plans to have more precise arithmetics for the long numerics in dialects 3. As I know, so far we have no plans to introduce new data type, but for the internal calculations it will be used to don't lose precision. So you don't need to cast in some cases results where or intermediate results in long formulas, and it will have no more overflows where it really have no overflows. Some basic hints for optimizer could be implemented. I don't know details about it, but sounds promising. Unstable cursor issue to be fixed. Unstable cursor is not standard behavior of the Firebird, which was implemented long before standard exists. This is about update and delete statement, which could see the changes produced by the same statement. In simple case, if you run just update of the table, you can't see this unstable behavior. But if you have, for example, update with subselect from the same table, this subselect will see updated records, which was updated before current call of this subselect. Subselect is called for the each row. And this is not correct. Standard said explicitly that updatable record set should be evaluated, then update performed, and this is how it should work. We have a patch to this issue, and it will be committed soon. It will close, as I remember, maybe 3 or 5 tickets in the tracker. So if you have issues with it, it will be resolved. You can try to look at it. We plan to implement timeouts for the all kind of activity, for the queries, for the transactions, and for the connections. So if you have long-running transaction in some maybe badly written application, or in the hang application, it will not hold, for example, garbage collection, because it will be terminated forcibly by timeout. And as I already said again 2 days ago, we want to extend limit for the text of the SQL queries, for the text of the plans returned, and for the result sets. About security. At network level, we will have pluggable authentication. So we will implement at least 2 plugins for the network level security. It will be Windows Trusted Authentication implemented in separate plugin, and standard security database functionality also will be moved in the security plugin. And we are going to implement over-the-wire encryption. If you follow the Firebird architecture list, you know that it have not ended so far discussion about database encryption and about over-the-wire encryption. Maybe some ideas will be born in this discussion, maybe some, maybe no, but we have intention to implement over-the-wire encryption. I can't say it right now what and how it will be implemented. Maybe we will use SSL library, maybe something else, but it in our plans, and we want to introduce it in Firebird 3. At database level, they will be available per database authentication. Users could be stored not only in Security 2 FDB, but Security 3 FDB in Firebird 3, but also in the user database itself. Again, it will be configured, and it will be as you need, not at fixed position. Maybe we will implement page level encryption. I don't know so far. And we have a waiting big patch from the RedSoft company, from the Red database, which implemented permissions for DDL operators. It have implemented grant role to role. By the way, it's defined in the recent versions of standard, so it's very desirable to implement it. And again, I don't know much details, but it seems we will implement user groups for the permissions. Maybe it's correctly to name it implicit roles, I don't know, but it have the means of the groups of the permissions for the users, and you don't need to specify name of this special group to in the connection string to let user use it. User have assigned this group of permissions, and it's property of the any connection of this user. And at the last, few words about release schedule. We have currently 3 versions to maintain and 1 version to release new. This is 2.0 series, 2.1 series, 2.5 and 3.0. We just released 2.0.6. If you don't know, and if you use still use 2.0 series, it's upgrade you should consider to do. And we will release 1 more version in this series, maybe in the June, maybe in the May of the next year, and it will be sooner or later the last official release of the 2.0 series. 2.1 series is still supported, and we expect to release 2.1.4 in this year. Before the end of this year, it have few fixes very important, and this is in top priorities to release. And we expect 2.1.5 to appear in the next year. Maybe in the first half, maybe in the second half. It will be depend on how many tickets we will resolve against 2.1 series and when it will be ready. About new versions, 2.5.0 just been released. It was very long time to expect by the users. And 2.5.1 sooner of all also will be released before the end of this year. We already have few patches, few fixes, which is committed, and it's waiting to stabilize the 2.5 release, and release 2.5.1 will be more or less complete with bugs fixed. And we expect to have 3.0 alpha to release in the first or maybe second quarter of the next year. It depends on how fast we will complete the feature set we plan for it, and as soon as it will be in the code and it will be committed, we will release the first alpha for you to use. This is all, and if you have questions, again, you are welcome.
I'll ask you, when you introduced Firebird 3 development, you said that there will be something like on-select triggers. Is that still in process?
On-select triggers, I never seen in any database what is it, but usually when some people ask me, not the whole team, it's my opinion about on-select triggers, use views. View is on-select trigger. Disable user to select from the table, get them view, and do in view all you want to do in on-select triggers. Maybe it's a workaround for you, I don't know. Any questions? So, I should again thank you for the attention, and I hope I see you again.